Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeley here, Wednesday the 17th of September. Thanks again for watching. This is your look ahead video and it's all change. This is the temperature forecast from the Ensemble for the next few days, and look, there's the rise in temperature that's going to be taking place across particularly central and southern parts of the country over the next couple of days. Could be up to perhaps 27 degrees across parts of southern England during the course of Thursday and Friday. But then look what happens, that sharp fall off in temperatures taking place late on Saturday and into the early part of next week. But it's the rainfall really that's starting to interest me. Ensemble not really picking up too much on it, but if you look at the GFS operational, and this is from weatheronline.co.uk, we've got the times up here, look, top left hand corner. Let me just run through these for you, and you'll notice, look, low pressure staying off towards the south. Watch those heavy showers getting going Friday and also into Saturday. Look at those on Saturday afternoon, some really heavy showers expected down towards the south on Saturday afternoon. And then look what happens into next week. High pressure building back in. It's still there, look, through the course of Monday and into Tuesday as well. But look at this feature that's centered out towards the west here, just in there, that area of low pressure. Just watch what happens to that as we go on through the sequence. In it comes, deepening across Iceland, pushing a front look eastwards through the country back end of next week. And then it continues with this theme of lower pressure. Now, don't take this too literally. I think it's still struggling with the detail of this, but it's certainly hinting at a taste of autumn ahead. Now, the other models as well do tend to pick up on this idea as well. This is the ECMWF, and it's the operational. And if we just nip forward on this, you can see how into the early stages of next week, look, it builds pressure back in and tries to make it a little bit of a battle. But by the time we get into the middle part of next week, got a cut-off trough coming down the North Sea. Cold and windy, according to the ECMWF. I'm not sure this is actually going to happen. I think this is overplayed a little bit, the operational picking up on something here. But look, it brings low pressure up towards the north, brings us this brisk westerly flow, the jet across the country by the back end of next week. So certainly leaning into these more unsettled conditions. I'll just show you the Ensemble. So this is the ECMWF Ensemble, and this one, again, look, as we go through the sequence, remember that little area of low pressure next week? Well, that's what the Ensemble says. Look, it just has a trough through the North Sea, and I think that's probably more like it. But then watch what it does further on. So as we're getting towards the end of the sequence, look, there's the jet blowing through here, and it's opening out in here. We've got a left exit region in here, certainly a zone of development of low pressure up towards the north. Pressure to the south still pretty high, you notice, look, still 1,016 down here. So actually pressures in the south not too bad. So the GFS operational probably is the one that's over the top, whereas the ECMWF does tone it down somewhat. I don't think the south becomes particularly very wet. I think it's just that we see these westerly winds coming back in, and this is how the GFS Ensemble sees it as well. Let's just get these sizes right for you. There we go. This is how the GFS Ensemble sees it. There's the high building in, look, now we're getting into next week, and there, look, there's that strong west to southwesterly flow. Again, 1,016 millibars over the south of the country. So, you know, that's not too bad. That won't bring desperately wet conditions. But I think for Scotland, perhaps northwest England and Ireland, certainly it's back into a wetter weather. And that's a fundamental change of pattern that's been seen by the model. So this is how the Canadian sees it. Let's have a look at what they think is going to happen. And again, these going forward in 12-hour steps. And they build the high in, look, into the early part of next week. Cooler weather for all. Middle of the week, though, picks up that southwesterly and really goes for it by the end of the week. That, should that come true, that's a strong jet stream, the likes of which we haven't seen for a wee while, and with fronts trailing down through there that would be a wet setup, particularly for more northern and perhaps western parts of the country. And then a strong front, look at that front, coming through at the end of the forecast period and setting us up into a westerly flow. And incidentally, this is quite interesting because this then sets up this trough here, look, and it's hinting at this swinging southeast. So that's around the 27th. If we go back and have a look at what the GFS ensemble had on around the 27th, look, it's that. There it is. So it agrees with the Canadian. Very similar pattern to the Canadian. And then, look, there's that trough. You see that there, swinging through over the subsequent days and taking us into a very unsettled pattern. So the Canadian and the GFS certainly in agreement with each other as to what happens. Now, the CFS not quite got this just yet. This is the output from Monday still, and look, still at higher than normal heights across the UK in week 1. Week 2 has the higher than normal heights out towards the west, starting to fall up towards the north. Look, tri-spring is jet. This has now been superseded, I think, by the forecast, and I think this whole area, when the updated CFS is out, is probably going to be a little bit further south. In fact, while I've just been talking to you, the latest GFS has just arrived, so it's just been updated at WeatherWeb. So let me just get that for you. There we go. So this is CFS week 1, taking us through to the 23rd. And look, there's the remains of the dry weather. This is the showers developing across the south. Bits and pieces of rain for northern western Scotland, but essentially dry. Let's see what does week 2 do. There we go. Look, week 2, it's turning it wetter. It's trying to bring the wetter conditions through now across much of the UK. So that's certainly a change from the CFS. Week 3 looking like this, unsettled into early October. Week 4, again, remember this is just the CFS, looking like so, puts the wettest of the weather up towards the north and the northwest of Scotland. And then week 5, again, trying to keep us into pretty mixed conditions, going well into October. Now, don't take things too literally just at the moment. That's week 6 towards the end of October, and there's week 7. As I say, don't take things too literally just at the moment, because what the CFS may be doing, and this is what meta models do, is that when they see a major change taking place, they tend to then just run with it, pick up the ball and run as fast as they can. So they're seeing rain, they're seeing unsettled conditions, and they're just going for it. I think what we need to take from today's forecast is that conditions are looking likely to become more mixed and more autumnal from the middle to the late stages of next week. And just out of interest, there's the latest temperature forecast for Birmingham, taking us to the end of October. Nothing too dramatic, look, showing on there. The steady fall in temperature that you would seasonally expect. This is quite interesting. A pretty cool period there, look, for early part of October. But of course, we'll keep you updated on that. Treat it with a very, very large pinch of salt just at the moment. But for now, I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget, we kept completely free of charge because you come back and use the site regularly, and that means we put more adverts in front of you, which means that we can keep the site free of charge. So thanks again for watching. Whatever you're doing, have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.